Okay, that's a story. This report has been edited after the events that took place in the outskirts of San Francisco. What you're about to see never happened. If somebody discovers the details of this tragic incident, the traitor would have come from this room. Everything happened on February the 9th of 1952 outside Livermore, California, a small town east of San Francisco. That day everything was like any other day in the American nation. The village veterans marched in honor of falling in the Battle of Guadalcanal. The post trains carried their mail from one coast to another, and like any other morning, the O'Connors, Frank and Helen, were preparing for a new day. Frank battled in the Second World War in the South Pacific. He was wounded and taken to a countryside hospital. There, he met his future wife, Helen, a Salvation Army volunteer nurse. Helen Knox was Charles Knox's daughter, a Presbyterian preacher. Soon after knowing each other, they fell in love. Helen was with Frank throughout his recovery process, including the time he needed to recover when he returned back home. It didn't take too long to formalize their relationship, as good Christians eager to follow the faith and rules of their Lord. Frank graduated as an engineer. He got a job at General Motors. Then they decided to buy a house out of Livermore, California. It was a former military testing ground, a secluded spot which gave the couple the tranquility that they required. Time went past. Frank kept working hard and Helen continued caring for her husband and her garden flowers. Everything worked out great for the O'Connors. Until one day Frank started to be distant, pensive. Helen noticed the strangeness of his attitude, but despite her concern she never said anything. One night Frank was out late. What kind of woman could be with this sort of man at a time like this? She asked herself.
The cheapest woman in town.
Helen went out to look for her husband. She searched the cafe, the restaurants. She searched and searched and searched. Then she gave up. She returned home. Finally, she found Frank sitting on the couch. "I hate you," she said, and went to her bedroom. The next morning, the tragic 9th of February, they decided to break the silence. "Yesterday I was looking for a present for you," said Frank. Helen was really surprised. "Oh, forgive me, Frank, forgive me," she said. Then they decided to forget the misunderstanding and merge into a passionate embrace. Nuclear bomb explodes. Because of a bureaucratic problem, the area that O'Connors had bought a home was considered an active testing military zone. In their moments of reconciliation, a 5-kiloton H-bomb exploded on the couple's home, destroying the place. There's nothing anyone could do for them. Officially, they disappeared mysteriously without a trace. Maybe they were tired of such a peaceful place. Officially, that never happened. The O'Connors never existed, and the USA Army never made a mistake.